This tree is a Japanese white pine, or at least the white pine foliage, grafted onto the trunk base and the root system of a Japanese black pine. This is often done mostly because the black pine has a very strong root system, very stable growth for the tree. And the reason we like the Japanese white pine foliage is because it's quite fine, it's not as thick and strong as the black pine. It's a personal preference though, I like both, but in this case, this is what we're dealing with. It is a bonsai tree. It's been styled as a bonsai tree before, but it's been neglected. It's not a very high potential tree. There's not a very dramatic movement. The trunk is a little bit odd. There's a thin section here. So I'm showing you these sort of trees also because often these are the trees that we all work with. You don't always work with very expensive, beautiful, high quality material. So the challenge here is to make something out of not so much. The merits of the tree, definitely this part of the trunk looks very old and flaky. It's a healthy tree, but it's a little bit long for the size of the trunk. So I think by reducing the size of the tree, we actually make this trunk a bit more powerful. And so my first move will be to remove a lot of the top section here. This could be the main directional branch, counter branch, back branch, new apex of the tree, for example. And that will mean that this entire section could come off. So I'm still studying if that's the way to go. So that will mean that we cut it off here, and that also removes a very straight section here because there's a lot of movement in the trunk, and then here it starts to straighten up. So by removing it here and using this as the new apex of the tree, we can still bend it around. We also continue that nice flow in the trunk. And like I said, by reducing the size of the tree and the mass of the foliage, I think the trunk will also become more powerful. So let's go for that. I do want to create a gin out of this, so a barkless feature. So I'm just going to remove the foliage. So I pruned off all these parts because I do want to create a gin or barkless feature right here. And I'll take the camera close up so that you can see what we're doing. But basically by using two standard tools in your bonsai tool arsenal, a concave cutter, so you can, I'll take this as an example, the top part here. If you move around it, basically cutting through the cambium, and then use your gin plier, just squeezing it, all that bark will really come off quite easily. Also because the tree is still active, it's fall right now, so it's a good time to take that bark off. But anyway, I do a short section here, but we'll have to do that for the entire tree. So I'll work here. I have a few deadwood tools as well, but let's see if we need those. Then I don't think we need to do a lot more pruning. And most of these branches and the new apex are quite nice. We'll have to do a bit of branch selection, but not too much. So it will mostly be a wiring job and also bring this apex up. But it's, as you can see, it's very flexible. That won't be very difficult. So we'll work on the deadwood, wire up the tree, and then in the next spring I could consider placing this in a nicer pot with better soil. It seems to be a partly organic soil and it's very wet, and pines don't really like the wet soil. So for sure I'll place this in an inorganic bonsai soil. Okay. Styling a bonsai tree and applying these sort of techniques correctly is one of the most difficult parts in creating a bonsai tree. You can check out our YouTube channel for videos about these techniques, but perhaps also consider enrolling in one of our online bonsai courses. Here, expert teachers explain all the relevant techniques in detail, and as a student you can also ask questions directly to the teachers. Each of our online bonsai courses have free previews available in the curriculums. Simply go to bonsaiempire.com/courses. Learn how to create your own bonsai trees by enrolling in one of our online bonsai courses. We explain techniques like pruning, wiring and repotting, and you can ask questions to the teachers. For the curriculums and free lessons, go to bonsaiempire.com/courses.